put some regular DDR3 in there. I just had that in there for reasons. Follow me for more in-depth explanation on why I do things. Good morning, children of the internet. And today, welcome to another video. In today's video, we are going to be making my office PC look a little bit better. For those of you that don't know, I just built a bolt. Check out the video up there. I built my gaming rig into a 7000D Corsair case that I got for a massive outlay of a whopping 127 bucks. It was on sale. It was a good deal. Blah, 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 blah. Watch the video. It's better than me trying to recap it. Anyway, that left me with my O11 Dynamic. This is the original O11 Dynamic, not the XL. And this is an HP pre-built with an i5 2500. They're going to mate because I want a slightly better looking office PC, and this case would just go and sit on a shelf otherwise. To do that, I'm going to be using a different power supply because I don't like the one this one came with. Maybe we'll see once I put it in. And then we also have just cheap parts that we're going to throw in there, but I'm going to show you that you can dollify any junk PC. And then we'll see what it does afterwards. I'm not expecting much, but yeah, this one's pretty much cleaned out, although I am taking my Kraken X73 out because this is super duper massively overkill, and I'm going to throw in my Corsair, which is also super duper massively overkill, just because why not? How's that for English? But yeah, I want to just throw this one in there because it will work as a temporary cooling solution. Plus, I have to use this for a graphics card that we have coming. And if you can't see me, we will talk about it when we're all done. So first thing to do, again, take this out, put that in, put the motherboard over, and I'll come back to you and show you what it looks like when we're there. Also, we'll talk about the fact that nowadays, you can't do that with pre-builts because new pre-builts suck. So I've gone ahead and cleaned the radiator for the AIO. Here's a tip for you. Clean your dust out, guys. This thing was unfortunately pretty badly choked with dust. That happens quite frequently because a lot of people will just throw these things in their systems and just go with it. Now, I got this from my best friend in the whole world, not Daniel, Shane. And unfortunately, you couldn't even get water to pass through the fins. It was so clogged with dirt, which means it was not performing well at all, which also means he was suffering in his games. But now that it's clean, we can put it in. However, I did lose the micro USB cable, so I have to find that, but it should be able to run off the USB at a uncontrollable speed, but again, we're just going to be cooling a non-overclockable CPU, and it's not going to matter. But next, I need to remove this motherboard. And as I was saying earlier, at least this one has what is referred to as a standard ATX style layout. It's upside down because the case is upside down, but this will at least bolt into that case, which means it will become usable. Also, it is not connected to the chassis underneath. It actually has a plate for the screw for the cooler. Yes, I was going to vertically mount the GPU, and I may still just to make it look a little funkier, but the main reason why I'm not going to be using this power supply, which is obviously sufficient to run this computer, and I'm not modifying the computer in any way, is the fact that it doesn't have long enough cables. I need longer cables to run a couple of things on here. I do have a set of extensions, but I don't have a SATA extension, so we're just going to have to make do with what we have. Also, this is an older power supply. It's a whole, let's see, 250 watt power supply, which is more than enough to run like a 750 Ti or a 1050, whatever. We're going to be running something even shitier because I don't feel like spending money on a graphics card for the office PC. I could theoretically just run it on the iGPU that's integrated into the i5 2500, but no, I don't want to do that. So next I'll take this out. Also, this RAM is coming out. This is Corsair Vengeance, good stuff. I'm going to put some regular DDR3 in there. I just had that in there for reasons. Follow me for more in-depth explanation on why I do things. An hour or so later, and here we are. I've done a few things kind of janky, but that's what you do when you're just throwing stuff together to try to improve the look of something without actually improving it. Corsair water cooler's on there. completely overkill, but I had it laying around, so why the heck not? I have 3 Corsair fans pulling air in. I got to take that last logo off. I don't care for them when they're turned sideways, but I have them controlled by this fan speed controller. I got that because I thought I was going to need it for a different case, but it turns out I didn't. So I might as well purpose it here. Also, I can control the pump speed manually using that because I can't find my micro USB to control it via software. So I'm going to control it via hardware. These will be slowed down, so they'll be running at a slower speed. So they'll bring in a nice volume of air, and then it'll go up and be exhausted by the RADS fans. So I will create positive pressure by having these run faster than those. So it'll bring in air and shoop, which inadvertently will also put some air across this cheap ass 630 and the non-existent heat sinks for the VRMs and stuff. And hey, I even remember to put the IO shield on there. Below here I have the SSD hanging out there. It's an SSD, so it can do whatever it wants. But I had to do that because I needed SATA power for the fan controllers. Again, I really didn't have to do that. It doesn't need these extra fans, but I had the open space, so I thought I might as well throw it in there. Let me show you the back. It's actually kind of tidy back here. I didn't use any zip ties or anything. I just kind of threw it together and left it how it's sitting. The EVGA 500 watt power supply is just kind of sitting in there. Luckily, this pedestal keeps it at the right height, and then you use a couple of zip ties, lock it down. It moves a little bit, but it's not going anywhere. Anybody that's ever run an open air test bench knows that's no big deal. Hard drive cages, I'm going to leave those in there because it can just sit with that's 2 6 terabyte drives. So there's 12 terabytes of storage sitting there that I'm not even using, but it's got a copy of my Steam library on there. So that way it'll just be preserved. And then as you can see, you've got the CPU cable running up here and then the fans right there. Overall, not bad. I could put the wire management bar in there, but I don't feel like it. Again, because this is a cheap ass system that I just wanted to make look slightly better when it's sitting on my desk. Speaking of which, let's go over and do that. Hello! About an hour and a half later, sorry you're hearing a printer behind me. It's revving up its toner for some reason. And the system's together. I left the Vengeance RAM in there for now, mainly because I was looking for my RAM sticks and grabbed the wrong box and I got annoyed. So I'll change those out later, but for now 16 gigs of Vengeance is fine. 16 gigs of Vengeance. That sounds like a really good nerd revenge movie. Bruckheimer, if you make that, I want royalties. But yeah, I installed a Asus AC3100 adapter, or the PCIe AC88. That guy, you know, the spider monkey. And it works pretty good. It works pretty good. And it gives a better signal than my old 5G stick, or AC wireless blah blah 5 gigahertz stick that I had on there. And yeah, overkill, water cooling a non-overclockable HP board and running 5 fans in it. But like I said, these fans are going faster than those fans, so those fans will bring in the air, they'll come in, it'll zoot, and it'll go straight up when the fans suck it out. So it will have positive pressure. I forgot the side glass at home. I'll have to grab that. A little bit of a side note, I did wind up having to jank together the power switch. I could wire it into the front switch, but I don't feel like doing that. So I'm just going to make sure to just leave the computer in sleep mode. And if I have to, then I'll have to pop the side panel off in order to turn it on. But other than that, for a cheap $35 build, it's pretty clean, actually. If anybody wants it because of today's market and the fact that it has a graphics card in there, being even a GT 1030 or 630, not even 1030, holy crap, but a GT 630, I want $4,000 for this computer. I know what I have, don't lowball me. Lowball me? Wow, he's having a stroke. Somebody call an ambulance. No, it's done for what I'm going to do. And I think the next video I do will be showing you how to put heat spreaders on RAM, because this is B-Die DDR4. It runs good, but it looks crap. And somebody called me out for it, and I didn't care for it, so I will fix that by fixing it. You can tell DDR4 because it's got angular bits on it. Fine. Anyways, that's it. Come back for another video. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of it. If it's something you'd do just for fun, just to make your office look a little better. And, as always, I'll talk to you later.